you guys have to keep, as they say, pedal to the metal, right? Foot to the floor. You got to keep that momentum going. You got to continually strive in order to achieve your goals. And I would suggest, right, that you look beyond your goal so you can push literally, as they do in the Olympics and track meets. They push through the goals. They look beyond the finish line. You need to begin to look beyond the finish line. I need to begin to look beyond the finish line so I can get beyond what I want to do, beyond my goals. So one of the things that I know that I need to do is I need to 10x my attitude, right? My attitude toward trying to achieve the goals that I want and have the things that I want in my life. If I'm not going to 10x my attitude, and then I'm not going to 10x my behavior, and I'm not going to 10x the goals and things that I want to achieve in life. So one of the things that I meant to tell myself is to make sure, right? Make sure your pity parties are shorter if you want to get results faster. That's a little note I wrote to myself about my pity parties and myself, right? A lot of times I love feeling sorry for myself. I am the master of beating myself up, saying some really, really bad things that my ego takes to heart, and it slows me down. It slows me down emotionally. It slows me down socially. I began to socially disconnect and move away from people. And when that begins to happen, that zaps my energy. I am a social creature, guys. I'm a social creature by nature, and I am always trying to seek, right, the energy of people. I'm an extrovert. So when I begin to unplug and begin to pull back from people, it takes away from my creativity. It takes away from the driving force that I use in order to create the life that I want. And it just slows me down. That's all I got to say, guys. It slows me down, and I don't need that. I need to know myself, and I need to know the goals that I want to achieve in my life. So I was one of the things that I'm working on right now, guys, is my course to help you to prevent less mistakes, right? So a couple of things that I wanted to tell you guys about mistakes, and my book is about top 25 mistakes, obviously. And if you guys haven't purchased it yet, this is my book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. And in my book, I talk about a lot of things, but I just want to talk about some tactics, some steps that you guys can use in order to avoid making some of the same mistakes. That's just Shelby moving around. Woo-hoo. Okay, Shelby, over here, sweetheart. So one of the things is focus, and I talk about focus in my book and having focus. And if you don't have focus, I mean laser focus on what you want and how you want to achieve your goals, you're probably going to fall short of your vision, because it's going to take tons of focus, continued focus daily, in order to achieve the life that you want. The second thing is distractions, guys. Distractions. I am a victim of distractions, like so many people, man. I'm constantly grabbing my phone and trying to use my phone to help my brain get a shot of dopamine, right? So I do a lot of that where I'm distracted by either social media or whatever I'm doing, something to take my mind off of my focus, something to take my mind off the very, very hard task that I'm trying to do to achieve the goal that I want, right? I'm literally out there sabotaging myself, guys, sabotaging myself from achieving the goal that I want. And I do this each and every day. And many people that I've seen do the same thing each and every day. They sabotage their own goals as soon as they begin to get a little momentum going, as soon as they get the little drive going, as soon as they gain a little bit of confidence, right? The lack of belief and fear sets in, and both of those factors together, man, it shuts you down, guys. So I don't want you guys to be the person who is trying to make strides toward your goal, and you begin to get a little discouraged with yourself. So then the emotion kicks in, right? Then you make some harsh decisions, some bad mistakes, and after you make those bad mistakes, what happens, right? You start to lose focus, right? Because you're not giving what you're doing the full attention. And because you're not giving yourself the full attention, you start to try to get the shots of dopamine to pick you back up. Those distractions of nonsense that don't move you forward, that don't get you ahead, guys. So you need to begin to do that. The next thing that I think that you guys need to begin to work on is asking the right questions. You got to start asking the right questions when it comes to achieving the life that you want. Most of the time, what we want is within our grasp. We just happen to be asking the wrong questions. What questions are you asking when it comes to achieving the life that you want? Right? What questions are you asking? And who are you getting those questions from? You know, my mentor used to say this all the time. You're asking the wrong people the right questions, which are going to get you the wrong answers to do the wrong actions. So I hope you guys get what I'm talking about, right? Even if you have the right questions, most of us ask the people within our circle of influence for answers, right? And then we take those answers and we act on those answers, and those answers are taking us in the wrong direction. What you need to begin to focus on is finding the right people, okay, to ask them those same questions so you can get the proper course of action so that you can begin to move forward at a much rapider pace, a much quicker pace, guys. So that is what you need to begin to do. And when you begin to have the right person in your ear, the right person guiding you in the direction that you need in order to create the life that you want, you then begin to gain momentum. But you gain momentum not the way you guys think it, right? Not the way you guys see it in the movies where, you know, the guy just hits his stride, right? It doesn't happen like that most of the time when it comes to success, right? Success, it comes in small increments, right? Like a grain of salt, or even better, like a grain of sand in a, what do they call it, a pendulum or something like that, when you turn it upside down, and a grain of sand drips, 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 slow, a little bit at a time, and each grain of sand is your daily efforts, right? So if you are making daily efforts toward achieving your goal, initially it's a grain of sand. You're not going to see what that daily effort means until, man, halfway through, like the pendulum, when you see that, hey, listen, I have built something here, I am doing something here, and my daily efforts and actions are now finally showing that I am going in the right direction. You haven't reached success, right? You just happen to see that a path along your way is starting to mean something. It's starting to develop so that you have something to look back at. Because in the beginning, you're not going to have nothing to look back at. You're just going to have your past failures that are back here, and you're going to have that first grain of sand. And you're not going to know whether that first daily effort is going to mean something or not. You're just going to have to trust who your counsel is, right? And you'll have that second grain of sand, and that third grain of sand, and that fourth grain of sand. And you will continue to add the grains of sand, you know, as you move toward your goal. And that is how success happens.